everybody, welcome back to this Thursday CCC. We are going to do an aviation with you guys today, which is a drink that, although it is a classic, it's also one that sometimes tastes like soap. Right? Like you love it or you hate it, right?
Yes, it's definitely polarizing, and I would say hand soap, which I've read, is another description for it, and I get that. It's probably not the best, most ringing endorsement for this drink.
No, but it's weird because I feel like people like to order it a lot because if you look at the description on a menu, people are like, oh, I want something that's gin. I want a gin cocktail. What do I get? And it's a little bit purple-ish, bluish, thus the name Aviation. And it sounds like, you know, it's a little bit on the lighter side because you've got some of the Luxardo and you've got like a Creme de Violette, which it sounds like it should be really yummy, and then it ends up being a little bit more floral, I think, which is what gives it the soapy.
Yes, and
it is thought that this drink, created during the dawn of commercial aviation, may have been named after the ships that flew above the clouds.
So one interesting thing about this drink is that it started out like you see it here with Creme de Violette, gin, maraschino. It then went away. Creme de Violette was sort of this mysterious floral ingredient that went away until it was brought back and made popular again. But then, as I understand it, really no obvious reason, Creme de Violette became hard to find until 2006, early 2000s. I'm going to rephrase. Couldn't get it in the States until it was 2006, to where, and I cannot think of the importer, but they were able to bring it back to the States, so it came back. Let's just say it flew back to the States, get it? And the Aviation became much more popular again. That is until people that don't like hand soap first tasted it, and then it became a polarizing cocktail.
Yes, I mean, and it has been published by some serious heavy hitters without the Creme de Violette, but I think without that, you lose the color, and thus you lose the connection to the name of the drink.
Right. So. And really, basically it's a bar spoon of the Creme de Violette. So it shouldn't be overpowering. And although it's also impressive that what a bar spoon of that does to the drink, not just the color, but you know, you get it on the nose, you also taste it. So I think a bar spoon is plenty.
Well, the other thing to mention is that you've got actual Creme de Violette. I actually don't. I have this Creme de Violette that, while it is used apparently frequently, it's used interchangeably with Creme de Violette, it's actually a very different liqueur. I've learned after 5 minutes of Googling. And while he does have violet in him, he's also far more berry forward. Alcohol content is heavier.
Got honey, I think, too.
Yeah, there's some sweet stuff going on in here. But it does have violet petals in there. But there's a lot more berry, which is also why I've chosen to go with this gin. Because traditionally in aviation should be with Creme de Violette and a dry gin. And I've opted for this berry floral forward gin, sort of to pull out the Creme Yvette.
Also, if you flip your bottle around, I think it's without the label, flip it around.
This one?
Yeah, you can see the difference in color. Well, hopefully you can't. So this is a lot deeper, richer purple color. Yeah. So we'll see what the drink looks like as well. But that's why if you see Aviations, like I've seen them anywhere from purple to blue. Seen them prepared.
Yeah. This almost has more of a reddy, winey flavor or color to it.
I say let's try.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. All right. So we've got citrus. So we are using our shaker tin.
2 ounces of your gin, whatever you're using. 3/4 lemon. And this is where the books that we all consulted sort of split up, because most of the books that I found had 1/2 ounce of the Luxardo, and Jason found quite a bit less in his research.
Yeah, Barspoon, which is, so I'm going with Rysse's recipe here because I actually like maraschino, but if you do not, you can always treat it just like you would citrus or spice and other drinks. You can play up or down the maraschino in this one.
Definitely. We're going to go with 1/2 ounce because that's what I saw in Jim Meehan's Bartender Manual and PDT and Death & Co. And
Those are 3 solids.
And yes, I am showing off that I have some awesome books. Now, mine do also say 1/4 of an ounce of the Creme de Violette, and there, I almost feel like we should have gone with your Barspoon because that gets heavy. But anywhere between a Barspoon and a 1/4 ounce. Most of the recipes that I'm looking at don't have simple at all, but some of them have 1/4 of an ounce of simple.
Yeah, and mine called 1/4. So that's the trade-off. So mine did 1/4 ounce of simple, Barspoon of Creme de Violette.
But Creme de Violette's not sweet.
No, but in terms of just total liquid in this drink,
Oh.
you know, that one called for a 1/4 plus a Barspoon. Yours called for just a 1/4, period, no Barspoon.
Got it. But I'm gonna go ahead and add the 1/4 ounce because why the hell not? All the while we're both chilling our cocktail glasses because this one's gonna be nice cold.
So Rysse's fine straining her lemon. My juice is already fine strained, so just I'm skipping that step. What's interesting is mine is not as purple as I was expecting. Because I've made this before and it's pretty purple. So I'm thinking this recipe with a Barspoon is your difference in a 1/4 ounce versus a Barspoon of Creme de Violette. And yours looks rather goldish. Someone's unhappy with their aviation over there.
Nope.
So Rysse has the spirit air of aviation cocktails, at least in color. It may taste delicious. And actually, it's funny. I feel like mine has actually turned more purple than I thought.
This is not an aviation. I cannot even present this to CCC as an aviation because this is just the wrong straight up color. So Jason's looks far more representative of what an aviation should look like. And if you go to a restaurant or bar and they give you this, I would be so bold as to send that shit back.
Yeah, that's not quite what I was imagining yours would look like. Let's try. Now that tastes like an aviation. One key detail, maraschino cherry or cherries. We have an aviation and we have the aviation evil twin.
We're gonna call this bad boy the plane crash.
Ooh. Mine could be like Pan Am from the 60s, like kind of cool, classic aviation, and yours is like Spirit Air from like Beaumont to McAllen. This episode is brought to you by Aviation. Oh, Aviation Gin, by the way, we did not mention, is been recently purchased by one Ryan Reynolds, who's I think driving that business. It is a cool bottle too, I will say, before he got involved.
It's a cool bottle, but it's your favorite gin?
No, I've had it before. My favorite is Ford's. Ford's is a solid little gin.
It's not my favorite gin.
No.
Just saying. All right.
All right. Well, we hope you all do not enjoy your aviations this week. And we will see you next week with some less controversial cocktails, mysterious cocktails, less blue cocktails.
We'll have some new cocktails next week.
Yes. Have a good weekend, guys. Cheers, Rysse.
Cheers, Jason.